What's the cringiest thing you've heard someone with zero self-awareness say about themselves? Had a gossiping co-worker who would constantly go on lengthy tirades and run people down behind their backs after doing so she would always finish with, well, whatever. It's got nothing to do with me. I mind my own business and keep my mouth shut. I could have fricked so many scene girls by now. I just choose not to because they're sluts. They're not worth my time. I'm saving my virginity for a girl who is worth it. Has anyone seen my kazoo? The same guy also only bathed as much as you need to continue dyeing your hair purple and green continually for a year. That's to say about 5 times. He reeked and got explosively defensive about it. He was trying his best to emulate the Joker in an attempt to find his Harley Quinn. I wish so much that I was making this up. I can't stand that my friends all worship me. Sometimes I just want a break. Not even joking. I've posted this before but it still makes me groan. My sister is a compulsive liar and a one-upper combined. It makes for really awkward conversations. Did you do something fun? Well, she claims to have done it and have a crazy story to spice it up. The worst was during a small get-together at her house. One of the male guests mentioned that he was nervous about an upcoming prostate exam. Q sister, oh, I had my prostate examined. Ugh. If someone has a problem with me, they can always tell me. I'm willing to listen. Said to me by someone who got a restraining order because she couldn't leave shoot alone and didn't listen to anyone. Noped out at first chance. This was the singer in a band I recently left. Absolute diva. Needed to be the center of attention at all times. Bossy, rude, loud, threw tantrums or had meltdowns if she was told no, and sang every song the same way, kinda like Ariana Grande side to side. I left and took the bassist, the keyboardist, and the sound guy with me. Looks like 2 other singers are on the verge of leaving. We told her why we were out, and she said we should have told her sooner, because if we had a problem, Yas should have said something. We're telling you now, Ari. I recently said to someone I'm painfully self-aware and now I'm terrified that I was wrong and someone could mention it here. This girl I went to high school with was telling me about how her boyfriend and her had recently started having sex. When I asked her if they were using protection, she looked at me in disgust and goes, no, I'm Catholic. I'm a politician. I was in a youth hostel in a small town in Thailand, eating some breakfast. This guy, let me show you that yoga pose 30 something with blonde dreadlocks, is trying to lecture these 19-year-old European backpacker women about local politics. His ideas were that all the countries of Southeast Asia should unite, use a single currency, and share one language. I can't remember the rest, but that first line is burned forever into my memory. While in the dressing room with like 10 other girls, getting ready for a performance, it's so hard being the most experienced person in the room. My niece telling a story about her in-laws and commenting that she didn't get all the details because she only ever really listens to a conversation when it references her. My husband later remarked that, while he always knew, it was still a shock to hear it spoken out loud. I'm not even racist or anything, but I really don't think white and black people should be able to go to the same schools. I just bought these sneakers. I got a great deal. They were only $1,000. Most people here can't afford something this nice. At work. To his co-workers, who are all making more than him anyways. I explained to a couple people in my elementary school why I hated how people had to do weird shit to make themselves stand out. I like to think they took it to heart when I lead away. My Milsil combo are pure gold. Milsil has a very musical ear. She is so musical. Me. I've heard her attempt to sing, and I'm fairly sure none of these notes exist. I wasn't aware she played an instrument, so I always felt I would be a great pianist. Me, did you ever play or take lessons? So well, no. I do feel if I had I would have been great. Mil, she really has a very musical ear. Me, so she doesn't play any instruments. Does she sing? Mil, no, but she can tell when someone is singing off key. FML. My abusive ex-boyfriend, you know what's wrong with me? I'm too nice. I never judge people. And within few seconds, don't you think your dress is a little short? It was a knee-length dress. My father-in-law was going to put up new siding on our garage. My wife asked how long he thought it would take, and he responded for me, a day. For anyone else, weeks or even months, implying if we tried to do it, we would do it wrong or take much longer. He proceeded to take months to get it finished, working on it a few days a week. He says cringeworthy stuff like this all the time. We appreciate the help, but not his condescending attitude when he messes shit up and does it wrong, or takes forever to finish what he started. 4 years for a fence around our small yard, 1 year for a small bathroom. Hey, you're an artist, right? Will you tell me what you think of my art? My anatomy doesn't need work. That's my art style. Your arms are too short by 6 inches, the legs are too different lengths, and the torso is too long. Your abs looks like they've been laser etched on. All your limbs look like sausage links. You've hidden the feet and or hands in every image. The eyes aren't even on the same plane as the face. If that's your art style, it's shared by every 10-year-old with a pencil and a boring class. All this says to me is I can't take criticism, so ignore me if I ask for it. Google Andrew Loomis fun with a pencil and study some basic anatomy and proportions. All his literature is available online in PDF format. Your drawings will get loads better. Edit. Yes, Andre Loomis is fantastic for I can't draw stick figures. Please help beginners. Go to https://www.alexhayes.com/loomis/ and download their archive of his old books. They're from the 70s, but don't let that bother you. Start with fun with a pencil. It'll teach the basics of drawing 3D shapes in a second format. Follow it up with figure drawing for all it's worth, which will cover basic anatomy, proportion, body position and bodies in perspective. His other work is great, but these two are fundamental and designed for beginners. We were juniors in high school and this one kid clutched a copy of The Catcher's right to his chest and proclaimed, proudly, "This is me." Hard cut later to the teacher all like, "So the point of this book is that Holden is an asshole."
End.
My brother kept asking for money from my not well-off parents while he was in university. After graduation he came back to live with us, and now working for the very first time. Failed to give my parents any money, even for his own food. Mum has to cook for him. He doesn't want to spend his money on food. He also asks for money from me, or my mum at times. There was once my mum had enough, and asked him to pay for his own shoot, and pay for the water and current bill. My brother's response: "I'm going to stop working now." What will you do? You stop working. Who freaking cares? Like you working to build our own career, and by you not working it's not going to affect any of us. In fact saves my mum's cooking time and money. My cousin kept the tag on his shoes because he's going to make it a thing. From someone who constantly lied, gossiped, lost her temper, and stirred up stuff just for the drama factor. I wish more people could just mind their own business like me. I get along with everybody and just keep my head down and avoid the drama. Also from that person, I'm a good person. That last one led to my observation that if someone has to state they're a good person, they're probably not. Women are so shallow. All they care about is looks. It's pathetic. There's so much more to a guy than that. I have so much more to offer. I don't want much, just a girl with a cute face and a good body.
End.
Well, tonight my mom called my dog a sweet little NIR face and then yelled at me about how she isn't a racist. Sometimes I think my parents really raised me right / proceeds to talk shoot about people the rest of the night. My sister-in-law, I'm the most selfless person. I do everything for others and don't look for my own happiness as she is eating all the lemon frosting off of the limoncello cake that she knows I drove 45 minutes to go get at the specific request of my pregnant wife who was sitting watching this occur in horror. I'm so good at roasting people. This was at work, maybe 5 hours ago. We were talking to one of the newbies, asking them about their holiday, their family, etc. Since it's a nice thing to do when someone is working second shift on Christmas. They tell a story about how they do a full family thing and a no kids get together. That way everyone can see their grandkids and their nieces/nephews, but siblings who each have kids can also have time sit down and have a couple beers while catching up. This year one of the employees' relatives brought their kids to the no kids function because they had another thing to attend during the all family gathering and it made everything awkward. So the resident needy attention hog says yeah, some people just always have to make it about them as a random interjection. And from my desk I just slowly put my head in my hands because I know it's going to be 15 seconds or less before he ruins the conversations. Lo and behold, one of the veterans is about halfway into saying that they try to do Christmas for the family, New Year's for the adults, and a needy employee butts in with yeah. At my wedding the only things that went wrong was that the church didn't have Wi-Fi, so we couldn't get Spotify to work, and my uncle-in-law is a total jerk. No one was talking about weddings. We were talking about the holidays. And someone else was mid-sentence. You butted in and ruined the mood because you didn't get a round of applause for your canned banter about family members can be needy and ruining the mood. One of the worst people I've ever met answered my question, would anyone like some Skittles? With a lengthy diatribe about the dangers of sugar intake and what it's doing to my brain/body, how she never puts that into her system. Then with barely a pause, asks if anyone had a cigarette she could have. Like, what? My high school educated, average looking, deadbeat, no money still telling me, your brother knows he can never get someone as great as me in his lifetime. The same brother who supports both her and her family. My eyes rolled so hard that she told her boyfriend and ex-fiance to get to step in on painting her kitchen while she was away because he promised it would be done. He was sick with the flu the week she was in Disney. Called her out on it so that you hear how you sound. You're saying that you were upset he didn't paint your kitchen while he was sick with the flu while you were busy meeting Cinderella? Her response exactly. You promised. Get to step in. He knows the rules. For the record, they each have their own house. It's not even like he was working on their place, just hers.